This is assuming you've already created your artwork in Illustrator, so everyone at this point should have an understanding how to do the interface in Illustrator. It's also assuming that you've already created symbols out of the artwork. So what we're going to do now is take that artwork from Illustrator and we're going to go into Flash and make it interactive. So that's what this whole tutorial is going to cover. So first thing I want to point out is you go to Window, and if you go to your artboard, in this case I have two artboards. You guys are going to need a separate artboard for every screen in your final project. So this is not complete, this is just a quick demo that I'm doing. So right now I have two artboards. If I click on this flyout menu and choose artboard options, it's telling me the size of my project. It's 480 by 800. So what I need to do is when I open up Flash, I need to make sure that my project is set at the same exact size. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel. So to start, what I'm going to do is simply highlight my artwork, which is my top interface. That's all of this. I'm going to copy it by choosing Apple C. I'm going to come down here and launch Flash. Open. I'm going to go ahead and choose a new ActionScript 3 file. What I now need to do is choose Modify and Document. And I need to make sure that the dimensions listed here are consistent with what we just saw in Illustrator. So I'm going to change this to 480. And the height will be 800. I'm going to leave everything else at the default settings. I'm going to go ahead and save within Flash. I'll just call this my app. And what I'm going to do now to bring the artwork from Illustrator into Flash is I'm going to just simply choose to copy and paste, but I'm going to do a special type of copy or a special type of paste. I'm going to choose Edit from the top, and I'm going to choose Paste in Place. Not just paste, but paste in place. So since everything is lined up as far as the artboard from Illustrator and the background in Flash, everything should line up perfectly. I'm going to accept the default paste options, and everything gets pasted into the exact same spot as it was in Illustrator. So a few things I need to do now. This is my interface. This is all by default going to be pasted on the first frame of the first layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead right now and rename this layer interface. You can call it something different, but this is what I'm calling it. So this will be the layer in my project that's going to contain my logo and my top buttons. In my case, I have 3 of them. So what I need to do now is to make some blank placeholders for my other pages. So if I come down here in my timeline, at the very bottom I have a button right next to at the lower left hand corner called New Layer. Just right down there. This will show up in the recording. And when you click on it, it comes up with a default name of Layer 2. I'm going to double click on it and I'm going to call this SCR message. So SCR in this case is short for screen. You can call it page, you can call it whatever you want. So I have a page now dedicated for the message app or the message link. So when you click on messages, it will take you to a page just for that. I'm going to go ahead and click on the same button again and type in SCR. I'll make one for email, and I'll also do one for search. So what I have are now 4 layers: interface, screen, message, screen email, and screen search. Oh, I need one more, and that will be for the home page. So when this first loads, the very first thing that gets seen is the first frame. So this will be on my home page. So any content I want to appear at the very, very beginning will appear on frame number 1, the home page. So each of these empty circles, these are called blank keyframes. They're blank because there's no content on them. When you see a dark keyframe, that means there's some artwork on it. So what I'm going to do now is let's just go ahead and let's make a page. So when I click on this messages button, it will take me to a new page. Let's click on frame 10. You can pick any frame, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a placeholder for the content of a new page. So for the message page, let's say I arbitrarily pick frame 10. It's going to be on that layer, it's going to be frame 10. What I'm now going to do is choose Insert, Timeline, and Blank Keyframe. So it creates, again, another empty circle. That means there's no artwork on it. This is currently a placeholder. But this is a placeholder for the page that when we go and click eventually on this message button, it's going to take us to that page. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right there on that frame, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a placeholder just so we can see that this is going to work. Eventually, I will take artwork from Illustrator and put it onto this frame, but for now, I'm just typing the word messages. So now we have 2 frames. Our home page, which is frame number 1, and our screen, or I'm calling it page and screen, same thing. Our screen, home screen, and our messages screen. So what I now need to do is I now need to make this button interactive, so when you click on it, it just links to here.